Hello, YouTube. It's me, John Avenger, once again. And, well, this is a different kind of a video today. We're not doing another review or a live stream until later. This is a list of the actors and actresses that I want to see in Deadpool 3. This is not a guaranteed list. This is my list. So, Josh, do not attack me in the comments. I know you're going to type, oh, this person should be there. Hear me out. My list. You want to do your own? You can do it on Letterboxd or do your own video of your fan theories and your, what you wanted to see for Deadpool 3. This is my list. These are the actors I want to see because some of these people have worked with Ryan Reynolds before, a few of them, and some of them deserve a second chance, especially after the way they were treated in certain other franchises. Wink, wink. And this is in no particular order. This isn't 1 to 10. It's just 5 guys and 10 candidates of females. Only females. We're not doing any I could leave that off. We're not going to use any, she-males or transgender women. No, these are real women, the real McCoy. So let's get started with the guys first. My first choice, and this is not in order, like I said, is Jon Hamm. The guy hasn't done a Marvel movie yet. He hasn't done a DC movie yet. He's done some voice acting, in the Minions prequel, the first one. He's done some, a lot of dramas. He's done television. He's a good actor, and he should have been Batman after Ben Affleck. But hey, we got Robert, so it kind of evens out. But he would be a good choice. You can either make him a villain, because Hamm can be intimidating, or you could make him like an anti-hero, like what they did with Cable in the last movie, or you just make him like a something different. I don't know. Maybe he is like a Nick Fury or something, because we don't know what happened, or just use him, because Jon Hamm is so good as an actor. He's a good actor, and yet he keeps making movies that are flops, or he's just barely in them. I mean, he was in Top Gun Maverick, which is I heard great things about, but he's not the lead in that. He's a side character. I want him to be a side character that actually does more. And they're not going to make a Top Gun 3, even though it made $1 billion, because by the time they do a Top Gun 3, Cruise will be like 65 years old. And I'm like, I think it's going to be too late. I think 2 movies is enough. Here, I want him to be in this, because he's a good actor and he deserves more than what Hollywood's giving him sometimes. He did Baby Driver, but that's not going to get a sequel. Anyway, that's my first choice for the guys. Next is another fellow Canadian. I don't think he's ever worked with Ryan Reynolds. That's Ryan Gosling. Yeah, this guy, every movie he does, he's great in it. Yeah, even if the movie's not the greatest. Guy's never done a franchise. He did Blade Runner, and that was a failure, but again, not his fault. You know how it happened. He's a good actor. Him and Ryan Reynolds are from the same country, so they can have that nice rapport. You can make him one of the X-Men or something, or like I said, a villain. Make him the Mr. Sinister. I don't care. Just get somebody good. We need a Deadpool 3 that's not for kids. No gay agendas, because this is an R-rated movie. It doesn't need it. We get it. He is weird. He's a pansexual character in the comics, but they're not going to do that with Ryan Reynolds. And Gosling could just, be a foil for him. You got Canadian heartthrob, Ryan Reynolds, and you got Ryan Gosling like trying to come after him or whatever. Or just do that. Why not? It's a good actor, and he deserves a chance. That's a second chance for him. Next is a guy that did work with Ryan Reynolds. Granted, it was voice acting wise. He did the voice of Pikachu in Detective Pikachu, and then he sees him at the end as his dad. Justice Smith. Yeah, he just finished Jurassic World. He's not coming back to that. I want him to, I don't know. It could be a comic relief. I mean, you made the Indian guy the cab driver, so maybe you can make him a character kind of like that. Does he need to be a nerd? No. Don't let him scream like a girl. That wasn't funny in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. That was just annoying. He's a good actor. He's done some dramatic stuff too, so maybe he could just, be the straight man, because him and Ryan Reynolds have great chemistry in that movie in Detective Pikachu, and he was just a little voice, Ryan Reynolds. He was the voice of Detective Pikachu, and I think it can work here. I know Josh is like, oh, but he's a queer actor. I don't care. He's not Ezra Miller. He's not on this list because he's a psychopath. And plus, he's still with, Warner Brothers for now. But we'll see. I think Justice Smith could surprise a lot of people. Next, this is a personal choice of mine because I think that he deserves his moment in the sun for Marvel or DC, either one, because he's a good actor. I just recently rewatched American Assassin, and I'll get to that again. I'll talk about that movie again when I get to one of my other choices, female-wise, and that's Dylan O'Brien. This guy is solid. Like in American Assassin, he really elevated that material. It was a generic plot, but him and Michael Keaton and some of the rest of the cast really elevated that movie because he took it seriously. He wasn't cracking jokes. He was dead. He was, his acting was solid. He has this really, intense face that would be a foil for Deadpool. I could see him being a sidekick of Deadpool, like or something like that, or like a protege to Deadpool, because the Negasonic Teen is, I don't think, gonna be in the third one. I don't know. And you can do something badass with him. Give him some ninja stars or something. I can see him playing a good character in Deadpool 3. I mean, he's done so much. He did the Maze Runner films and Love and Monsters and American Assassin. He's really good. And it's a shame they didn't cast him as Batman or Robin or whatever. I think he can pull this off. And I don't know what roles they're going to play because, again, this is Deadpool 3. We only know that how he's going to get into the MCU. And he already met Korg, so it is official. And Dylan O'Brien will be able to do this. I mean, he's young, and they won't have to make him do a crazy stunt. Just get stunt doubles if he has to do any stunt work, because they did for the Deadpool movie, the first two movies. And my last choice for guys is this guy has to be a comic relief. He could be either a comic villain, or he could be like another side character, or even just something. Don't make him annoying. Billy Magnuson, yeah. This guy was hilarious in Game Night. I thought he has a lot of charisma. He was in the last Bond movie. I don't know why he was in that, but he because they did this. Oh, hey, what's up, Book of Mormon? I'm like, yeah, that joke is kind of cringe, but I can see this guy doing something. He deserves a franchise. He's so charismatic. He's so handsome. He's a good actor, and the fact that he was not in anything Marvel or DC related is just. It's a shame, because I'm like, they get these non-acting bentos to be in everything. Everything. I mean everything. The Doctor Strange movies and the freaking Avengers and what else? Freaking Eternals and Black Widow. Why do you need to cast a bento all the time? Can't you give American and Canadian actors a chance that you haven't used yet? There's plenty to choose from. Trust me. There are thousands of actors that are waiting to get that Marvel money or the DC money or whatever, Valiant Comics. Just anything that's not just a bunch of art films that make $1 million and then they're gone. And I think Magnuson could pull this off. He's very funny. I think Joshua wouldn't have a problem with him. He's not going to steal the spotlight from Ryan Reynolds because he's the merc with the mouth. He's the funny one. But there could be other characters that are funny just as in that he could be on Ryan's level. Like they can match. Not one is better than the other, that they just match really well. And I think Magnuson would have great chemistry with Ryan Reynolds because they're both very funny guys. And putting them in a room together will be box office gold just for me. I could see those two talking in an office building, just be like, ripping on each other, like, hey, what's up, Book of Mormon, or hey, what was, I could just come up with jokes of my own that Marvel would never do, or what's up, Broadway, or something like that. Be creative. You can make Billy Magnuson a huge comic book character because Kurt Russell's son was in the MCU, so no one is not available as long as they're breathing and living. Anybody can be in the MCU. Anybody can be in the DCU. It doesn't matter what affiliation you are. If you're a good actor and you keep your mouth shut and you give the people what they want, you'll succeed. I know Natalie Portman did for me anyway. But that's the guys. That's the list of the 5 guys that I want to see. Billy Magnuson, Dylan O'Brien, Justice Smith, Ryan Gosling, and Jon Hamm. Now we get to the females. So I've been waiting to talk about this for a while. No particular order, Josh, so don't bite my head off. It's not going to be numbered because it's going to take too long. Well, my first choice, I know this is an unusual choice, but again, my choice, my rules, my game, since I am the Marvel guy of YouTube. First is Laura Marano. She's a great singer. She's adorable, and she has never done a comic book movie or a show. Ross Lynch did. He did one of the Alpha Commandos in the Howling Commandos in an episode of Spider-Man years ago on Disney XD. So he's done Marvel. He's done voice-wise. Laura can pull this off. People love to see her on the big screen. She's been in some Netflix movies where she melts my heart, and she could do comedy. We saw her in Austin and Ally, and she's very cute in that. She knows how to wear costumes and do accents and be very theatrical. That's what I want for Deadpool 3. I don't want just a bunch of CGI flying at the screen. We've seen that for over 20 years since the first Spider-Man movie. And also we've seen, female badass characters, Wonder Woman, Captain Marvel, Wanda. We've seen that. I want to see someone a little cutesier that's a lot younger than Ryan doing her thing. You know, you can make her like, I don't know, another X-Men or something like that. I don't know who I would choose, for her to play, but again, there's some cute X-Men out there that are female, that are not this affiliated bullshit. She can do it. And she would be able to do an R-rated movie, Josh. She's done a song that has a lot of explicit lyrics. She can do it. Hear me out. Next is another cutie that's really young, but she's blew up in the music charts. She's doing really well. She's a good actress, too. I've seen her in American Girl. That's Olivia Rodrigo. She's Asian. She's very young. She's healthy. She can do this. I know that she could be a singer in the movie. Not a dazzler, but if there's any other X-Men or Marvel characters that sing, Olivia Rodrigo's your girl. Because she can do it. She doesn't need a freaking, she doesn't need to be dubbed over. She can sing. I know it. I've heard it. And she's really cute. She's a rising star. I haven't seen the High School Musical TV series because it's just too gay for me on Disney Plus. I don't watch that. But she can really surprise people. She's young and vibrant and beautiful, and she can do this. And I know putting a mask on her alone would sound sexy. Just in my opinion, do not bite my head off. Oh, you're just a horny guy to see anything. No, I won't see anything. But her, I could definitely see her doing this. Something like this. Some make her quirky, Next this is an unusual choice. She's an older actress, but hey, if freaking Helen Mirren could do a DC movie, then anybody can do it. And that's Kerry Russell. This girl got shafted in 2 franchises. I think it's time to give her one that actually works for her, where she's not underused or dies. She did Mission Impossible 3. She gets killed off in the first 20 minutes. And then in Rise of Skywalker, I don't know what they did with her. Here, this would be a great fall. She could be a kick-ass female villain for Deadpool, or Lady Deadpool, or something like that. Just not someone crazy, Josh, because that's coming, with the next choice. But I could see her doing it because I'm like, she's almost Ryan Reynolds' age, so their age matches perfectly, and I think she could do it. Because I was gonna pick Blake Lively, but that would be too obvious, and I'm not obvious, guys. I'm very random. I'm very spontaneous, and I think she could do well. Give her a shot. They're not gonna all be white, trust me. I'm just saying, Kerry Russell deserves a franchise that she's not gonna die in or be underused. She deserves so much better than what Disney gave her. That's for sure. But anyway, that's her. That's probably one of the older actresses in this list. Her and another one I'll get to. Next is Jessica Roth. Yes, I know, Josh. I know you're going to be like, no, she's going to be crazy. Hear me out. Let me speak. Let me say, this is why this is not a live stream. She's very talented. Those Happy Death Day movies were a lot better because of her. If that was a Binto doing all that, you're gay, and jumping out of a window, I would have been like, this is just too much for me. This is another Margot Robbie, or who's an Aussie, or freaking Emily Blunt, or Alice Eve. No, I wouldn't buy it. With her, I would totally buy her as Gwenpool, or any other, like something else. Because like I said, she could be really good. I'd love to see her as Emma Frost. They wasted her in X-Men First Class, so I'd love to see her as any blonde X-Men. Because I say X-Men because this is an X-Men spin-off. Just saying. And she's really, really funny, charming, and she's like in her 30s, so she can do this. Jewish, so, they have a lot of spontaneity. They have a lot of, stamina in the cinematic universes. So I think that Jessica would do fine. You don't have to make her crazy. Trust me, no one's gonna out crazy Taika Waititi because everything he does is crazy. His voice acting, his writing, his directing is just nits, mate. But he's not gonna be on this list. So I already said it because he's already done Korg with Ryan Reynolds last year. Okay, next is Zoe Dush. This is a very, very obvious choice. I love this actress. She's got her mother's face, and it scares me because of how much she looks like her mother, and I want her so badly. I love Leah Thompson's movies when I was a kid, so seeing Zoe, when I saw her in White Him, I'm like, that's it. Put her like that. You don't have to over-sexualize her, Josh. They're not going to cut the chaps off on her ass and expose her. No, not that. I want her to be cutesy. She did well, I heard, in Zombieland 2, so go with that. Make her cute. Make her quirky. Make her, huggable. You can give her little pigtails. I don't care. Just do something, with her. Zoe didn't get Batgirl, and I really was disappointed in that. I'm fine with seeing another actress play Batgirl, but she better deliver the goods, Leslie Grace, because I did not see In the Heights last year. But anyway, Zoe, I think, can pull it off. She's young, and her purpose is to entertain people. That's what she does in every movie that she's done. She's never given a bad performance. Her worst performance is still better than half of the performances from Kristen Stewart, and who was also not on the list because she's weird. But Zoe, it's an obvious choice, Josh. I love this actress. I will see her in almost anything because she's adorable. She is absolutely adorable, absolutely adorable. And I'll get to that when I get to my top 5, but not in any particular order. Next is Jessica Chastain. I know, Josh, Dark Phoenix sucked. I know Simon Kinberg ruined her. She was the only good thing in the 355. But if she came back, it'd be a nice redemption for her after Dark Phoenix wasted her as Vux. Yes, Vux, Vux. I'm not cursing. Yeah, they screwed her over in Dark Phoenix. She's like, it's anti-acting. I know Chastain can act. I've seen it. Ava, Interstellar. She can actually act. She just won an Oscar this year. Very, very well deserved. So freaking good. I haven't seen Tammy Faye because, the subject matter is not for me, but her acting I know is good. She deserves a second chance. She's one of the oldest on this list, but I don't care about age. A woman is just as graceful when they're 20 as when they're in their 30s or 40s, 50s, 60s, etc. If they can act and they can still talk, go for it. Why not? Give her another chance. You don't have to make her the villain this time. You don't. I would make her like the way what they did with Nebula, what they did with Jessica with Karen Gillian in like Jumanji and whatever, with her beautiful red hair out. She doesn't have to be a love interest for Deadpool, but she could like have a crush on him or something because they are close in age. And Jessica Chastain is just gorgeous, man. Oh my god! I look at that face and I'm like, how she hit the freaking jackpot when it comes to the genetics, because she's just got gorgeous hair, a beautiful female face. She's American. She can do accents because I heard her do it in. She worked with Chris Hemsworth in Huntsman: Winter's War, and I'm like, how do you exist? Well, I know, but anyway, she deserves redemption. Dark Phoenix was a mistake that anybody could have made. And unlike Sophie Turner, she won an Oscar. So that qualifies her enough. Because when Brie Larson won an Oscar, she got Captain Marvel. So suck it, haters and incels. Suck it. Next is Shiva Nagar. Yeah, some people have never heard of her. Josh knows who she is. She just did American Assassin a few years ago. She's a really talented Canadian actress, just like Ryan Reynolds is Canadian, and beautiful dark hair. And if you want more diversity, Disney and Marvel and DC, this is your girl. I think she has an intensity to her that we're going to see way more of in this decade. Her name is badass, Shiva. You have, she has a really impressive resume. And also, unlike some actresses that are going to fizzle real fast, she has staying power, and I want her to do a franchise. It's been a while, so I think it's now strike while the iron's hot with her, because she's so talented, and I don't want to see her wasted in a Disney Plus show that she's in 2 episodes. I want to see her in a movie on the big screen with Ryan Reynolds. It'd be great. Just saying, I don't know who she'll play, but you can find a role for her. I think she can surprise you. Next is this is the last black girl on this list, because I can't put Tiana. She's already in the Marvels. It's she just did a Medea movie this year, Geneva Macaron. Oh my god. Whew. That woman is so gorgeous. I saw her in clips and I'm like, she's got this beautiful cocoa colored skin. She's voluptuous. She would just be amazing. Her and Zazie Beetz in the same room, I would just run around the theater like the Roadrunner. I'll be like, yeah. I love black women. I want to see more of them on the big screen. It's just my thing. It really is. I'm not woke. It's just, I like to see them do their thing. And her just walking into a room, and some guys are like, I could see her. She's probably funny in that movie, in the Medea movie, because she's natural. That's what I want to see more of. Natural beauties. Natural women that can act, that are not being over the top all the time like freaking Tiffany Haddish. But Geneva, she's I'm gonna keep my eye on her. She's in her 30s. She's beautiful. And like I said, she's so cinematic. You can give her 2 lines in the movie, and just walking, the way she walks, I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna faint. And I'm like, yeah, Josh, she can do it. I guarantee you, that woman, if Marvel knocked on her door and say, hey, we want a diversity hire that we're going to use and not put in the background, go for it. This is the era to do that anyway. It really is. And she needs a big budget movie that's not on Netflix or Disney Plus or whatever. Because like I said, she can do it. You don't have to be a big name to make your name in Marvel. Because some of these people they never heard of, like Sam Sumulu, who did Shang-Chi, and that worked out. So give her a chance. Now the last two. I know this is the big one. These are the 2 girls that I have been wanting to see in a Marvel or a DC movie. Well, one of them did a DC movie when she was a kid, but as an adult. Caitlin Dever. Yes, you knew this was coming, Josh. I love her nose. I will watch her in anything. I saw her in Booksmart, for crying out loud. And I'm like, the whole time I'm like, that is the hottest lesbian I have ever seen in a big screen. And that's weird to say because I'm not queer. I'm not gay. I like women. And the whole time I'm like, oh my god, who are you? I'm like, she's such a talented. You know what her purpose was in that movie? To be the hottest thing in the world without having to over-sexualize her. That scene when she comes out of the pool, I was mesmerized. I was like, ooh, the whole time. Yes, Josh, this is going to be a weird video, I know, but I'm a heterosexual man. I'm going to express myself any way I want. I love this actress. She's so young and vibrant and just absolutely stunning. And her wearing it, like I said, I want to make a fan fiction for her as a character named Honeypot. If you put this character in this movie, that would seal the deal for me. And you don't have to over-sexualize her, Josh. I know how to treat a woman, okay? I've loved women since I was a kid. Girls and women. Because I'm a respectable dude. And she would just be amazing. She's got Oscar potential written all over her. Just her, Ryan Reynolds was like, hey, how you doing, petite, cute little thing? You could say something like that. Not everything he says needs to be disgusting. Just saying, when he saw Marina Baccarin and he didn't say, hi, pussy face. No, he didn't say that. Because, again, Ryan is not going to write that. Plus, he didn't write the first movie. He wrote the second one. You can do something, inoffensive for a girl like her. Because even when he made fun of the Negasonic T, say, Ripley from Alien 3. That was funny. It's just, see, you can be clever without being insulting, without being mean-spirited. That's what Deadpool 3 needs. And a cutie like her who's done R-rated comedies and dramas can pull this off without even having Beanie Feldstein. I'm thinking about Haley. No, she's not on the list. She's already in Hawkeye. I'm fine. She has her chance. This is Caitlin's time. I want her to do this because the clock is ticking, and I'm like, if they call her in 10 years, it'll be too late. I wanted to, Marvel or DC to knock on her door saying, we have a proposition for you. Be in our movie and and show your acting chops and be cute, because she's just adorable, Josh. No matter what she does, even when she did Unbelievable, I'm like, I can't stop looking at you. I can't. I'm a man. I'm drawn to you. I just got this magnetism towards her. If she had movie posters, I would put them all over my wall too. Like Scarlett Johansson and Amanda Peet and Natalie Portman. This girl, I'm drawn to her. Drawn. When I saw her at the Oscars a few years ago with Beanie, I'm like, good God, you're gorgeous. You're so vibrant. You're so female. You embody everything I love about females, Caitlin. Everything. No matter what size or shape they are. Just, that's what I want. Because in this woke world where everything has to be politically correct, no, casting her would not be politically correct. She can do this. She has the experience, and I know she can pull it off. And if you made her a character named Honeypot, yes, if you look that up, it is a metaphor. But again, you don't have to make her a piece of ass. You can make her cute, so cute that audiences will just melt. It worked for Hit Girl and Kick Ass. Just saying, and she was like 12, and this girl is 25. So you can do this. And my last choice, she just did a movie called Princess on Hulu. I'm looking forward to watching that this summer. She's so adorable. I've seen her since she was a little girl on Sweet Life of Zack and Cody back in 2006. She also did The Dark Knight Rises but had no lines, and she was bald. Joey King. Yeah. I'd love to see her kicking ass. She already did in that princess movie, which is an R-rated, bloody, streamed movie. And I'm like, hey, if she has a physicality, let her do Deadpool 3. If you don't put Caitlyn, I would love to have her there. You can give her a sword, or you can give her a bow and arrow, you can give her freaking ninja stars or nunchucks or something good. Be creative, Marvel. You got that. You have that. You have a lot of characters that you haven't used yet. And I would love to see this chick kicking ass. Like, I didn't see those kissing booth movies because they were kind of racy. They were a little bit... Yeah, they were a little bit not for me. I prefer To All the Boys because there were no boundary issues in those movies. And yeah, she can do it. She's done R-rated stuff. She's done a lot of comedy. She's done a lot of dramas. She's done a lot of like kids stuff. And I'm like, she's just adorable, guys. Every time I see her in something, I'm like, you have the biggest, most juiciest lips I've ever seen, and your face just, you're so cute. I just want to bundle you up like a Snuggie. That's how I feel, guys. These women do it for me. That's why I want to see at least one of them, or two of them, in this movie. It's not a feminized thing. It's just to add more estrogen into the MCU, which we so desperately need. And yeah, that's my list, Josh. So say what you will about my taste. These are the women I want to see, and the guys that could be a nice foil for Deadpool. Either a villain, an anti-hero, or a side character that's funny, because they can show you, they can surprise you. Trust me, these people are talented. I've seen it. Well, most of them. Geneva, I haven't seen Medea yet, but I will. Shiva I've done. Caitlyn, Joey, Zoe, Jessica, Carrie, Olivia, and Laura. I've seen all of them in something, and they can prove you wrong. Anybody, because I'm not scared about putting them in the MCU. Because, like I said, anybody can be in it at this point. The doors are wide open since the multiverse opened up. So why not? These people might just prove to Marvel that you don't have to always cast people from another country or from the UK or whatever to make your point. We got it. There's so many different types of people in this world. We got that in phase 1. We don't need it in phase 4 anymore, or phase 5. Use some of these people. They could surprise you. And you don't have to give them a joke every 2 seconds. Just go with the flow. Anyway, that's my list. I'll rip it apart now. I'm really glad that I did this list because it helped me get a lot off my chest. Because I've been waiting to do a list like this for a long time. And yeah, it's these people I know can do it, and no particular order. Just knock on their door, not Josh, Marvel or DC. Give them a chance. And I did my research. Most of them were not in the DC or Marvel project, animated or live action. So thanks for watching. Take care. My next video will be a live stream of McKenna, an American girl, McKenna, shooting for the stars. Yeah, Shoots for the Stars. It's a kids movie, so it's going to be a little lighter because it's a different weekend. So thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Be safe. See ya.